For a content creator who lives in an average-looking setting with average life schedule, eats average-looking meals, and with average filming gear, it can feel a little bit intimidating comparing myself against all these aesthetically pleasing lives that people show here on YouTube. By the way, these are not clips from any specific channels, just stock video with the same vibe. Yes, I realized that these creators all started out small and most didn't look that cinematic at first. But the least they had is the unfair advantage of living in an aesthetically pleasing place, in a countryside by the beach, with beautiful house decor. Maybe they also happen to be young and physically attractive. And here's me, the unaesthetic one, along with a couple zits in my mouth just in time for the party. So, I'll give you a tour of where I live in just a few moments, but for now, let me get this idea off my mind. Picturesque life is good, but it's been sold to us through social media as the best way to live, kind of like ideal standards for physical beauty. But it's not attainable for everyone beyond the basics of keeping the space clean and organized. Stars have to align in a certain way to make life look like that. You have viewers admiring all these beautiful presentations and then trying to curate their own life to make sure it also looks pristine. But beauty on the surface is not something we should chase after obsessively. I certainly stopped chasing it in my life. It's something that I will attain later. But those things that are preventing me from having it right now are actually helping me finding beauty on the inside. My life might not look amazing on camera, but it's organized, it has wonderful people in it, and it teaches me something every day. So allow me to share a piece of it, and perhaps let you see how all that glitter isn't actual gold. All that beauty on the surface should complement what's on the inside, not replace it. Here's a beautiful seaside town, pure bliss. And this is where I live, somewhere suburban. Flat terrain, sets of similar looking houses, though I must admit, the trail network is pretty nice. I spent my teenage years here and also early adulthood, then moved with my husband to an apartment with a nice view, then moved back here again, this time multi-generational home style. Although I missed that apartment on the 11th floor that overlooked the escarpment, we had no choice but to move here out of need. I'll spare you the details, but it basically had to do with changing job locations, rising rents, and no vacancies for decent places. So here we are, living in the basement of my parents' house, tagging 3 boys along the way. It's been almost 6 years now, while the housing and rental crisis in our country has forced us to wait it out until the light goes green. I use the room upstairs for my videos. We mingle and play there, share celebrations. But the feeding, cleaning, bathing, and most of my family's social life exists down here. Nothing aesthetic, it is what it is. Well, you might ask, what about nice room design, furniture, props, etc.? So I'll answer this question by taking you around the house and explain everything the way it is, why it is, 3 examples. The basic principles are these: active and curious children, safety, sustainability, and using free time for social experiences. Oh, and also cleanliness, free space to roam, lack of clutter, but that's relevant anywhere. Alright, so welcome to the kitchen. Okay, I'll be very brief here, talk freestyle. So here we have our cupboard. As you can see, the silverware is nothing fancy. We actually had to let go of all the glass plates because we have 3 active kids, 6 and under. The oldest one has ASD. They kept breaking all the plates and most of cups, so we had to go with something that doesn't break. We don't have to worry about cleaning up all that glass, you know, stuff like that. But when the kids get older, we'll probably end up getting, normal plates anyway, so, something more aesthetic. But right now, these are practical, easy to wash, reusable. Why not? And also this ugly little thing, foil over the stove. The reason why it's there is to help protect against the spills, keep the wall clean. Of course, this actual thing is not clean, but we just take it off when it's done serving its purpose, and we put a new one on. But this one has been here for several months. I know we could get one of those special covers that you can buy on Amazon and elsewhere, but the thing is, the stains on those are really hard to clean, really hard. So they're gonna look uglier than this anyway, but after a few weeks anyway, so this will do. So. What else we have? All right. Table without the cloth. Again, same thing. Little kids. Old chairs. We actually got these when we moved into our apartment. That scenic one back in the day. But instead of just buying new chairs, we just want to let these serve their purpose. And then eventually they'll become backyard chairs. Maybe when we get our new house or something like that. But even though these ones are not the prettiest, they're stable. Let's keep using them. Okay, so let's check out the living room. All right, and this is our spacious living room. Lots of space to roam. Toys tucked away. No clutter. The basics, but you know, some stuff for them to play with, a nice wall with all those tools, and the table to work on, and the toys. Okay, so, but we got a few paintings over here like that, and a few ones that the kids have done themselves. Maybe I could get more pretty paintings, but for some reason this is very warm. I mean, the stuff that's done by our family members, our own kids. It just feels inviting, but one day when we move, we will probably get a proper accent wall, repaint it. But right now we just have to take everything off, send kids somewhere else while they want to actually play downstairs. So if you want to redesign, it's a lot of hassle, but instead we just want to be here, play freely without all the extra stress. So right now, this room stays the way it is with this color, with its just unaesthetic fun. And of course there's also a stained carpet because we were painting and one of my boys decided that it was fun to maybe let a few drops of paint to go on the carpet, and it just remained there. But what can I do? New carpet will also come one day until this one serves its purpose. All right, and then we'll check one more room. All right, entranceway, the basics, all the jackets and the shoes against the wall, free space to roam. And then there's, I'm gonna skip the regular bedroom, but I'm gonna show the one that is kind of like half playroom, half bedroom. I'm not gonna show you where the kids sleep on. It's a set of mattresses, not beds. And the reason for that being is that they tend to use those like a trampoline, and if we had the beds, they would probably break anyway. So right now, while the boys are young, it's just safer to jump on the mattresses, and the mattresses will still stay intact. But once maybe they get older, then we'll switch to the beds, and those will look a lot nicer. And last but not least, storage space. See? Nothing pretty. Yep. Boxes, carton boxes. Okay? Not of those pretty containers you can buy. So I remember there was this one video from this channel, Life Before Plastic, and the creator said that sustainable life is not aesthetic. It can actually be ugly if you want to actually reuse things and repurpose them. So, and this is a story with all of these boxes. We get things in the mail, we use the boxes to store things. And Once they're all old and a little ruined, we recycle them. But then we keep getting the mail again, deliveries. We use the new boxes. So why not? And it's cheaper that way anyway, so we don't really care if it looks pretty. But maybe one day we'll get proper containers once we use all of these for moving purposes. But anyways, we'll still reuse all the old boxes for store things in the garage, for example. So things like that. All right. So one more thing before we move on to the regular part of the video, and that is I want to comment about the lack of plants. It's the same thing that I mentioned about the lack of fancy silverware. Plants will get just ruined. They'll be treated like toys. So, I mean, I could put more plants in my house to make it look pretty, but then those plants wouldn't last very long. So, again, the boys gotta grow up. And of course, there's no point in having curtains when we live in a basement. All those pretty curtains are upstairs where my mom lives. But of course, I love curtains, but I'd rather prefer a Roman shade because they'll probably last longer if anybody decides to play with them. So that's it. Those are the reasons why I live unaesthetically. Practical life. Don't get me wrong, I would love to live in a cozy house with plants and art, nice view from the window, small town setting. It's just that right now I have to accept things as they are, to make the flow of my life practical without unnecessary stress. All this pretty stuff will come later, when my boys are older, when we're financially secure to move out and remain there. In other words, delayed gratification. As for those who live in beautiful places, we need to accept that their stars aligned in a certain way to give them all of this. Some of it has to do with the luck of the draw, like being born into a wealthy class or in a country where beautiful life is affordable. Some of it has to do with being older or retired, having children who are more mature and careful with things. Other times it's having a flexible career that allows you to work where you want or work remotely. People can have more freedom to live where they want based on lifestyle choices, having some foresight, being pragmatic. I suppose I wasn't that pragmatic. Both me and my husband have careers that are tied to urban life, and we also had children. But this is merely an explanation, not me complaining at all. Let's dig deeper now. I'm pragmatic when it comes to saving money, not going bankrupt, but not to the point that I deny myself experiences that are centered on love and virtues. Children, for example, are an element of social rhythm in a house. It's this warm sense of community that is more precious than hanging plants and vases. Those will wait. Also, suburban life is fine. We have decent services close by, grocery stores, parks, trails. Countryside opens up once we've driven 15 minutes away from home. That's where we can go camping, swimming, visiting farms, just pure fun. Spending time with the people I love is amazing. It doesn't always translate into pristine and orderly dinner time routines, just beautiful messes and amusing conversations that we have. The food, whether it's served on a silver platter or a gray aluminum plate, is all about the ingredients that nourish my body. I'll still get to eat from a silver platter sooner or later, but until then, I won't get sick from malnutrition. I'm no longer preoccupied with living the aesthetic life. Life that teaches me to love, to let go of perfection, while working hard and being wise with money is good enough. I don't believe in extremes. I believe in multidimensional growth. When you see all these beautiful looking lives on social media, you might be thinking that all these people are happy because of where they live. And because you have certain limitations that make your life less aesthetic, then you're somehow unworthy of happiness. My own life has taught me that this is not the case. This might sound kind of stoic, kind of like that quote that one of the videos from the channel Accepting the Universe has focused on. You don't need a change of scenery, you need a change of character, is what it says. And maybe a change of scenery, like a new social environment, is a good thing when it comes to avoiding contact with toxic people. But it's certainly not the case for ordinary experiences like a 9-to-5 routine, living somewhere boring, stuff like that. Having an orderly and calm inner world should be a prerequisite to all. That's where the social media obsession with beautiful settings, beautiful things can be deceiving. Not to say that living or wanting to live like that is bad, but it's not the guiding principle for happiness. It goes hand in hand with exploring your own soul, making connections with people, including activities in your own life that make you the best version of yourself. You can watch some of my other videos where I discuss how I apply this process for myself. The point that I want to make is that you don't need to be tempted by all those images, those aesthetics. Make your own setting as orderly and pleasing to the eye as possible, but also focus on the gold hidden within you, not just the glitter. This approach will not stop you from appreciating the beauty, from watching those videos or looking at the photographs as a hobby, but it will also make you free to learn other things in life. And that's the real beauty that only the camera of your heart can capture.